What is something that makes you unreasonably angry? People who are walking out of a shop and then suddenly decide to stop smack bang right outside blocking the fricking door. Just fricking move to the fricking side. Anyone who sucks at walking infuriates me, especially when there's like 2 or 3 people taking a whole sidewalk side by side, sort of just waddling around without thinking that if there's people behind them that want to get around. A lot of people have some horrible spatial awareness. At least in NYC they get some minor crap for it usually, because walking is the main form of traveling obviously. Banks. Why the frick would an institution that almost all people are required to use have shorter hours than an average job? I'll add government facilities to that. DMV should be 24 hours. People that move out of a lane so they can secure first place at a red light then drive like a fricking funeral procession. Why bro? That spot is for movers and shakers. Similar to this, people who sit there and pressure the light, constantly rolling forward little by little and going way over the line, only to drive like a grandma when it actually does turn green. Bro, are you in a hurry or not? You can't be both. Loudness for loudness sake. I understand why fire alarms are loud and don't hold that against them. My intensely aggressive microwave, on the other hand, is very close to being replaced simply because it ages me 6 weeks every time I warm something up and can't just stand there to press stop at 3 seconds left. This also applies to people. If you start yelling for no fricking reason, I am walking away. That said, I will jack up the volume on music and movies or anything else that actually benefits from it. Why does everything have to beep? Microwave, stove, even my dang sewing machine beeps with every button press. All those things have a display that shows what the setting is. The incessant beeping is utterly useless. There's gotta be something on their main board that makes the noise. Can that be broken, ripped out, unsoldered without breaking the whole item? Anyone know? ETA. Ask and you shall receive. The thing is a piezoelectric buzzer and it can be muted even easier than destroying desoldering it. Being a witness to dumb person doing dumb things that I already know the person is going to do but is so stupid that my brain dies. When people tell me I'm shy or quiet. Number. I'm simply uncomfortable. I can be very loud and extroverted in a comfortable environment surrounded by people I'm comfortable with, but that's obviously not what I'm doing right now if I'm shy and quiet. I am the opposite. If I'm uncomfortable, I'm super chatty and must fill the silence. I only show my quiet, shy side to those I'm most comfortable. Unsolicited phone calls. Stop calling my number and not leaving a message, and if I do answer, you hang up. Go to heck. Get a real job, loser. People snapping at me to get my attention. Like literally, when people snap in my face as if I'm a dog or something just makes me so mad. No, this is a totally reasonable thing to get angry at. It's incredibly rude. Clicking on a news article and hitting a paywall. The crappy stuff is free for the taking. But oh, you want accurate news? Go to pay. There's a bird that frequents the vicinity of our house whose call imitates a car alarm. Despite numerous attempts, I have not seen this bird, but I think it's probably a starling. I work from home, with the window open. I have become really sensitive to its annoying call. A few days will go past when I don't hear it and then bam, it starts again. When people leave the bathroom stall unlocked and I end up walking in on them, I'm in the wrong, but rage always fills me that they should have locked the door and saved us both from that embarrassment. People taking up the whole aisle in the grocery store. Look, Karen, move your freaking cart to the side while you look over every single can of soup so others can shop. Or when they use the entire aisle to have a long gossipy chat. It may come as a shock to you, Karen, but this isn't freaking tea time. You're brain curdling tea. The 2 years old across the street constantly screaming. He doesn't say one word. Everything noise is either screaming and crying, and the adults do the same back at him. That doesn't sound healthy. Something might be wrong. Daylight savings time. There is no reason to change times twice a year. Every theory about why it's good has been debunked and I hate it. When someone throws in a negative aspect of a life milestone or accomplishment. For example, when someone buys a first house, as I recently did. It's something my wife and I have saved a long time for, found the perfect one, and finally have a place to call our own. Some chucklehead throws in how expensive it is and how it's a money pit and how you'll have so much work to do. I'm aware of those things. Just freaking be happy for me. Ugh, that was my mother. She could find negatives to absolutely anything. Not that she'd ever warn you about potential hazards beforehand. What is she? A mother? Nor she'd just wait until you'd done something or expressed fondness for something, and then spew out 10 reasons you should be sad instead of happy about it. The useless kind of troubleshooting. One of many reasons I fled at 16 and never looked back. Joy is scarce enough in this world without allowing someone in your life who makes a hobby of sabotaging your joy. Tailgaters. I live on residential road with 30 miles per hour speed limit. The police are vigilant on speeding. There are also wooded areas where deer like to hang out. Buttholes ride my bumper like they bought it. Ugh, it stresses me out badly. I have a high risk of deer too, and I don't know that someone whose bumper is in my rearview mirror will have time to stop if I need to brake hard for a deer. I get scared the sucker's gonna crash into me and hurt me. Why don't they pass? Or back off? I figure either they're barely paying attention to their driving and are playing trailer for the ease of copying the path and speed of whoever they latch onto. Yikes. Death the type to rear end me, or else they are doing some mild road rage thing. Trying to make the victim uncomfortable. Yikes. Also, trying to fluster someone while they're driving is dangerous. I usually go 5 over the speed limit, but when tailgated I feel it is safest to slow enough that their stopping distance is less than their following distance. Generally about 10 below the limit. Infuriates me when I was already late. I don't get what they think they gained by it, but holy crap do they cause me stress. Duos or more that make absolutely no effort to slim their walking profile when you are passing them on a sidewalk. Expect others to just make way for them. Mosquitoes. They're irritating, but I get so angry once I see them flying around. Irrationally mad when they buzz by my ear and unreasonably ruin my day. Night livid if I get bit. It's especially infuriating when you try to get them and they escape you, only to bite you later. Mosquitoes really love me, so when they bite, they usually will come back for another taste. 5-6x. Loud, smacking sounds from either kissing or eating in movies. This is something relatively new to me, but I can't help but notice the incessant use of loudmouth noises in movies lately. I will literally yell, "No, frick. Why I stoop." Yeah, the unnecessariness of those over-amplified noises. They are absolutely disgusting and kind of annoy the frick out of me. They make me want to rip out my eardrums. I don't know why, but when my parents used to ask something for us to do and be like, "Who's gonna do it for me?" then my very annoying siblings will be like, "Mike will do it," I would legit get in trouble cause I would scream, "Do not volunteer someone that is not you." Yeah, I wanted to kill them. People who abandon their old sick needy dogs on the street. If I were a serial killer, those people are who I'd go after. That's not unreasonable at all. When people have no awareness of others around them, or like if I'm walking towards another person, I make an effort to make room and they just keep walking straight like it was expected I should have done that. So if I kept walking straight we would have just walked into each other. People who say freedom of speech is an excuse for being an butthole. Yes, you are allowed to say it, but you don't have to. And it doesn't mean freedom of judgment or consequences. When people make plans for me, even if they're plans I would agree to, especially if said plan is me helping someone out. I also detest, with every fiber of my being told of plans last minute and then being judged for being upset about having to reorient my entire schedule. If you didn't want me to be upset, you shouldn't have told me about the plans the day before or the day of the thing. Even if I'm not working going to school that day, it doesn't mean I didn't have a plan set out for the day. People parking or stopping their vehicle in clearly marked no parking spots, particularly red curbs on a narrow road with near constant traffic. Bonus points if it's directly across from open parking spaces. People telling me to change my working style when I'm already getting results efficiently and not making anyone's lives worse. Cruelty to dogs, or seeing a defenseless person get picked on. I'm getting angry just typing this and thinking about it. When you're simply explaining something to an ignorant butt person and they just turn around and ask why you're so angry. People who stay in a lane that is posted as closed in construction zones and cut all the way to the front of the line. Your time is not more important than mine, Chad. When a group of people walk next to each other on a sidewalk, taking all of it up and not moving out of the way when you approach. I just started to walk into people. When people are famous for existing or being rich, other people have to work to get places. Meanwhile, Trisha McMoney gets red carpet treatment simply for being born to tax-dodging buttholes who think poor people are a plague. You wanna know what I'm so freaking mad about today, and yesterday and all freaking month? Yep, well somebody, and I have no idea who, and that's part of what driving me freaking mad here, is leaving a cheap plastic gold coin in a different area of my house every single freaking dog damn day that says haha you lose and the reverse says the dog damned same freaking thing. Every day, I find this freaking fake as mother coin sitting somewhere like on my kitchen table or my couch or under my electric toothbrush stand or in my washing machine or taped to my fridge or in my shoe underneath the tongue so I don't notice it. Until I put on my shoe and feel some hard weird thing or suspended by a nearly invisible fishing line from my ceiling fan or any other of 1,000 other freaking locations, and it's always the same freaking haha you lose fake gold butt coin, and of course when I find it, I throw the mother in the trash or into the garbage disposal or toss that crap into the woods behind my house. But it doesn't matter because whatever frick is leaving these fricking plastic motherfucking haha you lose coins in my fricking house is doing it stealthy as a fricking ghost or some crap, and I'm physically sick and tired of finding these freaking fake coins every day, everywhere, and I freaking puked this morning when I found one at the bottom of the glass of milk I was drinking. Like frick you mother, how did you do that? Haha you lose. Mother, I'm not a loser. WHORU. Where are you? Yeah, sure. I've stayed home all day for the past week trying to catch this guy or girl or ghost, but I find nothing but more coins haha you lose glinting in the lights, catching the corner of my eye everywhere I freaking turn. And I told you I'm sick of it, barfing because of it, and I just want it stop. And I'm so freaking angry I can't even freaking enjoy a dog damned glass of mother milk without one of these freaking plastic fake but gold mother coins mocking me. I feel your pain when I read that. Now I feel my obligations to Reddit to ask the important questions. Have you ever been diagnosed with multiple personalities? What is your living situation? We need this information to properly figure out the fuck. Do the coins have the phrase written on them or is it made that way? Is it possibly the same coin or have you found multiple at a time? Have you tried marking the coin and seeing if it's the same one? Let's freaking figure this out, brachacho. Reddit is full of professional amateur detectives. If something is measured in inches and there is a decimal, I don't know what 0.7 of an inch is. Give me proper measurements with 1 stroke 2, 1 stroke 4, 1 stroke 8, and 1 stroke 16. Stupid driving. Depends on the day which specific thing it will be, but the whole spectrum gets right up my nose. Failing to signal, hypermiling so you idle through intersections, coming to a complete stop on a protected turn, riding out the merge to the last possible second and never accelerating to the highway average. My dog's food and water bowl set are identical, except for one being labeled hungry and the other thirsty. My wife will put the dog food in the thirsty bowl and water in the hungry bowl. People who enter the bus, train, whatever without letting other people out first. I get it. You don't want to miss your ride, but it won't leave while others still exit. People who chew with their mouth open. People who smack on food or make sucking noises, slurping noises when drinking something. It drives me nuts. Something that really boils my pee is when I get punished for something I didn't do. It gets under my skin and I freaking hate it. On a personal level, people who blindly assume stuff. I'm a reptile enthusiast and I own lizards and snakes. The amount of people who assume that my animals are dangerous is stupid. I've heard it all from my snakes are going to break out and kill me. Yes, my 4-featuring corn snake is going to eat me. To my lizards are proving them I worship the devil. Really, what the frick? People have flat out refused to come into my home. They have no experience with the animals beyond media and assumptions, and their closed-mindedness pisses me off. I point out that statistically speaking, dogs are one of the most dangerous animals to own because they have killed more people in the past year than snakes and other reptiles have in the past decade. But no, they are dangerous, horrible creatures that they would kill on sight. also said to me, "I've had a similar situation with my critters. I've had rats, scorpions, geckos, and a snake. Not all at the same time but some. Most people were pretty interested to see them, and pretty much any time someone would come over to our house for the first time, my dad would ask me to show them my room because of the way I had it decorated. Walls were completely covered in posters, Halloween stuff everywhere, blood, etc, and also so they could meet my pets. One guy was afraid of spiders and threatened to kill my tarantula if I got him anywhere near him. I wasn't even considering getting the tarantula out because I was very aware of his fear, but also, he's in my room. I don't understand people who goes into someone's room willingly knowing that something they're afraid of is located within the room and then threatens that something for existing. I feel like if people are acting that way because of the kind of critters you have, it's a good indicator of the kind of people they are. Lose, loss. Apparently it's not common knowledge that losing only has one O. I see losing way too often and it pisses me off because I read it how it's spelled. Then in my head I'm the one who sounds like an idiot cause I read it that way, which pisses me off even more. I guess my answer is grammar spelling errors, not mistakes or stylistic choices. Those are understandable. But when someone legit does not know they are using the incorrect word, also used to know someone who always writes laptop ooh-ugh. Whenever somebody tries to sound like they are more educated on a topic than you, yet it's obvious they only have surface level knowledge of said topic. I've sometimes mentioned things to people. They ask what the thing is, I explain it to them, and then they try to correct me about it despite only having found out what that thing is. Like, how can you know more than me on a topic I just told you about? But if I ask them this, I'm being rude. No, you're being obnoxious by correcting without knowing anything because I just freaking told you about said thing. Loud chewing noises, especially if you're an open-mouthed chewer. Double especially if you're also a lip smacker. Training a new guy at work. Everything he eats he makes gross slapping munching freaking sounds. I watched him eat a sandwich, and it was like watching a crab person who had been starved, getting their first meal in a week. The way he pushed the bread into his food hatch was like the little face fingers crabs got, all the while making this sound like a pig rooting around in slop for potatoes and apple cores. Anyway, he swing shifts, so I only have to deal with him for like 6 minutes a day when I do the pass down now. Unsolicited and or condescending advice. Out of touch advice as well. Usually that goes along with unsolicited. Someone in my friend group has always been in that "no, I don't get treated like this" call the manager mindset, and lately it's gotten a little ridiculous. They're not mean by any stretch, and they act like a Karen or anything, but they will suggest the nuclear option whenever you're complaining about something. For example, someone was talking about their apartment situation and how a homeless person has been sleeping outside of their door and using the outlet outside that they pay power for. This other friend goes straight to, "You need to get a lawyer and go after the apartment company. This is unacceptable." Okay. The person complaining works as a waiter and is in their 20s, so what part of that makes you think they can just go get a lawyer? This person will do that with anything that vaguely sounds like a complaint. Well, here's what you need to do. You need to go talk to so and so. Force hyped YouTubers who just screaming around for no reason like idiots. This is super annoying. Maybe once every other year or so I decide I'm going to play a little Minecraft and look for any fun new mods, so I'll check YouTube. It's easy to find people reviewing new mods. It's difficult to find people that actually provide a review of the mods and aren't just running around in the game and randomly yelling and making weird noises for no apparent reason. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.